Bach in here with the Northern Ag Network, and I'm here with Bradley Harris. Brad, you're with Firestone, and you guys deal with tires. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the tires that you guys have, especially for our part of the world, Montana, the Western Dakotas, and Wyoming, dealing with livestock, wheat, and some of those pulses out on the field.
All right, so as we go into the livestock industry, Firestone Ag is proud to announce we've designed the new Performer Evo line of radial tires. This goes on to the equipment that we're using every day in the livestock operation. That 150 horsepower below tractor is a cost-conscious product, so it's not as expensive as some of the premium Firestone radial product, but it's an American-built product in Des Moines, Iowa, to service those markets. Deeper tread skill depth, so that we get what we call wear life out of it. 4 loader services on the front positions, has that load capacity, so when we're moving bales from the feedlot out into the pasture lot, we have that capacity to carry those extra loads.
Is there anything special that guys need to know about on the tires when, especially on the crop side of things, where you might be moving through some stubble fields, you know, you've got the occasional rock that happens to be out in your field. Is there anything out there that guys need to have, or something that doesn't compress that dirt so hard when they need to put that seed in?
All right, so when we're running in heavy stubble conditions, I always encourage customers to look at installing stubble deflection device on there of some sort. Wheat stubble won't damage a tire like corn stubble wear will actually puncture through the tire, but wheat stubble will chew up the tread face of the tire, and it doesn't matter which brand of tire it is. If that stubble is tall enough, it'll hit right on that bar face and make the tire look bad. And if the tire just looks bad, it's okay. It's when we start seeing the cords and the fabric material. If we see that, then it's time to replace that product. But stubble shoes on the grain platforms or even on the front of the tractor, just to push that product over so that as that tire hits it, it's not damaging directly into it. If we're dealing with some of the larger seeders, larger tractors, and we're concerned about ground compaction, I encourage customers to look at the IF and the VF, the Firestone 82 line of tires. The 82 line of tires will carry the same load as a standard radial tire, but it's less inflation pressure. And it's the inflation pressure in the tire that does the ground compaction. So the more we can reduce the inflation pressure to carry the load, the less ground compaction that we do. But we don't want to underinflate the tire, because if we underinflate the tire, that's when we damage the tire itself and we're wasting money buying new product. So knowing our axle loads, using the inflation calculator found on FirestoneAg.com, we can set the inflation pressures correctly to minimize soil compaction, maximize traction without damaging the tire itself.
You know, we're here in Kansas City in November, moving into wintertime. Is there anything guys need to know about storing their tractors or getting some of their equipment ready for the wintertime and putting those away and letting that take over?
Okay. So as we go into the winter months, if it's equipment that we're going to be storing in cold storage, I encourage customers to inflate the inflation pressure up to close with the max inflation pressure of the tires. As the tire sits, so that piece of equipment sits over the winter, it's going to naturally lose air. The tire will just naturally lose air as the air moves through the sidewalls. That way when we go in the spring to pull that piece of equipment out, it's not flat. We've got it pressure in it, we can get it to the shop, and as we're setting the pressures up correctly for the spring planting, we can set the pressures there. On the website, again, we have a 7-step checklist out there. Some of the main things are just to help us identify if it's a problem with the tire or if it's just cosmetic. And if it's just a cosmetic defect, we can continue to run that product in the next year. But if it's something that needs to be changed now, it helps customers identify need to spend now versus let's push this off to the next year and spend our money more wisely on some stuff today. And if we're in the winter months and we're using that utility tractor, that day-to-day tractor to feed in the pasture lots, and we get into really frozen ground, I always encourage customers, don't be driving over those great big boulders, the cow pies out there, because what that does is it does put a spike of pressure underneath that tire, and it'd be just like driving over a big sharp rock, and it'll cause that tire to have a damage to it. So whatever we can do to either have a improved path that we always follow with that piece of equipment, use a blade to just keep a nice smooth path through that pasture lot or that feedlot, I encourage customers to do that. Protect that investment in that tire.
Is there anything else you think producers need to know as we transition from fall to winter?
If there's any questions on if something needs to be changed on their piece of equipment, things to look at, go talk to your local Firestone ag dealer. They're the experts in your area. They have seen things that maybe we haven't seen in the Midwest or out in the South, so they'll be able to help producers store that equipment correctly and look for things that they have seen in the past that could need to be replaced at that time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brad.
All right, pleasure talking to you, Lee.